Hey guys, this is Lola, but you can call me Lola if you like.
Hi, this is Belisa, and you can call me Vels if you want. And we are back because y'all keep sending your dilemmas in. So we are back with another dilemma episode to help all of our favourite
We need
people
sound
out.
effects.
Because if we weren't going to get like
TikTok
muted,
flags.
for using dilemma, we could have definitely used it. Like, you know, especially now, like Nelly and Shanti are like my favourite couple right now. Who cares about Maya and Stormzy spinning the block? I'm all about Ashanti and Nelly.
Are they together?
Yeah, they got back together. They got back together. I'm so happy for them.
That's cute.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Look at that. They're giving us what's it? Ben and J-Lo, but happy.
Yeah, they are.
Are
Like,
Ben and J-Lo happy now? Or are they still looking miserable?
they still look miserable. And apparently Janet Jackson and Jermaine Dupri are also.
I think they're mother.
I think that was the real love of her life, to be honest. But obviously, Jermaine is a playboy, so she had to move on.
Did you see that Halle Bailey and DPD dressed up as Whitney and Bobby for Halloween?
I did.
I don't know how I feel about all these celebrities dressing up like other celebrities for Halloween, and also that I don't know if you can dress as Whitney and Bobby because they weren't necessarily like. And maybe at a point they were aspirational, but then they definitely weren't aspirational.
Well, I feel like they were trolling because obviously, you know, people don't really like.
He's bad for her.
Yeah. Like, and she's the sweet girl. So I actually think it was quite smart because I think they were just trolling everybody.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. Do you think she's pregnant?
I do.
Yeah, I don't even care.
Yeah.
I think it's so crazy that like Halle Bailey guys were talking about the one from
It's Little Mermaid.
yeah, Chloe and Halle. And I think it's so sad that she's having to like, even if it is true, and like obviously you tell people in your own time, but it's like she's literally going out for, if it is true, she's going out for a way to hide it, and it's like you're literally grown and you're rich, like you can have a baby if you want to.
But then if you see the way people talk about her and her man, I get why she's behaving like that because people are strange.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, that's an in-house situation. Like men will embarrass you. Her man had embarrassed her. That's what the issue is.
Yeah,
and the internet is the internet. So
Yeah, they don't forget.
he's making that. What did he say in the song that he's
I've never heard a DDG song.
I didn't know before that. Like he said something like she's a bitch and he hates her and how could she be kissing another man
In the Little Mermaid. Oh, I heard about this, but I've never read it.
How he wishes he could break out of her, but he's too attached and all this other kind of stuff. And everyone was like, this man is embarrassing you.
Yeah, but I will say though,
He's 22 or something like that. What is he was serious at 22 about their life in any way.
yeah, you're on.
I think he's
I
22.
thought she was older than that.
Let me just consult my iPad.
But speaking of Halloween, if I had these celeb people money, like I would be. Like, did you see Diddy dressed as Batman? That would be me. That was
What?
sick.
I didn't see that.
She's 23. Wow, she is young. Yeah, like he dressed because you know he got a cease and desist, I think, for he can't dress as the Joker ever again. Like Warner Brothers
really?
sent him something, to say he can't dress.
How can you say that I can't dress as somebody?
Again, yeah. So he trolled them, and then he dressed as Batman, but it was sick. Like it was actually sick. Like if I had that money, that's what I'd be doing. Like Sierra dressed up as Janet Jackson. It looks.
But why
sick.
is it? Maybe it's like a celebrity thing. Why are you just a celebrity? Like I'm so confused.
What do you want to dress as? Like the witch?
It's
and
Halloween,
Harry Potter and
like
stuff?
yeah, like just as.
I think America
Halloween
have
thing.
moved on from that. Do you know, they take it more seriously than us. I feel like they've moved on from
Do you see the baby that everyone was the
BBL baby.
the BBL baby? I'm sorry, this is very unpopular opinion that I have. So talking about there was this baby that went viral because for Halloween their mom dressed them up as someone that just had BBL and they had like a little IV and like bandages and I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious. I mean, it's not great. This is why not everyone should have kids. I was like, okay, cool. Not the best parenting move. The baby doesn't understand what's happening. Yeah, the baby doesn't know what's happening. And I just thought it was hilarious. It was very accurate. It was very well done. And obviously, the baby had a nappy, so it was like it was hilarious.
The nappy looked like the BBL.
It was hilarious. I just found it hilarious, and I wouldn't necessarily do it. Yeah, it's not great as a parent, but
It's not that deep.
man.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
The costume was kind of accurate though.
It was. And like part of the fun of having kids young, like, is you can dress them how you want.
Yeah.
They just don't understand. Like, you can dress them as a pumpkin.
A pumpkin, literally anything.
Yeah, and they just won't have any say. Like, you can put them.
People be dressing their babies up as Chucky.
Yeah, exactly. And they have no say.
Like,
Like,
sure, it was a good Chucky though. Did you see
He
it?
was a good Chucky.
Yeah, good Chucky.
I saw the My Jama Halloween.
I don't think that was that great though. Oh, the party. I thought you were in her costume.
No, the party. I saw India came with Sexy Red. Hands on your knees.
Yeah.
Hands on your
I thought it looked great. The DC copy. She dressed as a Korean lamb.
I love that for her. I do.
I don't know.
It's just so
It's
fun.
so chaotic.
I love it.
I think that she's.
I love that she's like that and she's a billionaire's
I
kid.
think that her family are too rich so that they're looking for purpose. Like, she's a DJ, so I'm glad that
She found something.
She found
Yeah,
something
yeah.
for herself. But even if I met this guy and now we're engaged like 2 days later,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry, you're a billionaire.
It's
You
a
can't
big
just be
time.
engaged into anyone.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
your family, you can't just be engaged into anyone. There will be people who are literally looking, and then I don't even think he cared.
No, he shouldn't. There's been a lot going on. Jamie and Nikki, if anyone follows, what was going on there. If you're,
Did you see the follow-up video?
I did. If you're old school, YouTube person, you'll know about Jamie and Nikki, and you might know about the drama surrounding them. A couple that were married, have 2 kids.
Do you have an opinion on it? Well, what
First of all, my general opinion, and I hope I didn't offend anyone, but my general opinion is like 99% of couples who have YouTube channels cannot be trusted.
Yeah, because you're
Everything is a setup.
got a vested interest.
Yeah, you have to be happy together because you make money together.
Yeah.
So maybe Jamie and Nikki, like the stuff was already going on, and like we just didn't see it. It was already building up, but they had money to make, so is what it is. They both have their wrongdoings,
Yeah.
I think Jamie is very, very strange, but they both have their wrongdoings. Both of them are lying about different things.
Yeah, it's definitely.
So I just have to stay neutral in that because I don't trust either.
Yeah, and I don't know, but both of them are definitely lying. Basically, he's come out and said that she was abusive towards him, and also that she's stopping him from making a living. But it's difficult for him because, like, he doesn't have like, call it another job, and also if you go on his social media, it's all just, it feels like just pimping his kids out for paid partnership. So it feels, and she's like, she doesn't want them to do that. And
do you know who I'd want to hear from? Because she doesn't talk to her. Ducky.
are they talking?
No, Ducky doesn't talk to Nikki like that. So she has no invested interest in protecting her sister. So she told me the truth. Like, tell me the truth. Like, what really happened?
Yeah, I don't know. There was a follow-up video. It's just messy. Like, I don't. The YouTube couple thing is, I don't know, man. You gotta do it. Like, I think if you're gonna become a YouTube couple, you gotta do it like when you're into your marriage. When you're in.
But they break marriages though.
Huh?
You
I
know,
know, but I'm
break
saying you have to
marriages.
have like a solid enough foundation that,
You
like
know,
someone's parents. You get what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
no one's to watch someone's parents. Someone's parents. There are people that have been married for like 10 years. They're in.
Yeah.
It's just a vibe, and if they make money, they make money.
The only YouTube influencer family that would really disappoint me if some stuff
I know
came
you're
out
gonna
about them, you know who it is?
The clubs.
The Cab family.
the Cab
That's the only family. If anything, I'm riding for Shan. I'm riding for the mum because I already know. God forbid anything happens, but I already know it will be that. I'm ready to ride for Shan, whatever happens. But they would be the only family that I'd be like, wow, like.
Patricia,
do you know what I mean?
what's that guy called? Mike?
Patricia and Mike.
They've done it right, but they're not a YouTube couple, so that's fine.
They've moved away from that, and they probably moved away from it in their best interest. You know what I mean? But yeah, Cab family, I will ride for. I love them so much. Like, they're great.
This is a dilemma episode.
Sorry, but yeah, the Cab family are great.
Yeah, honestly. But I do like. Do you know what? Last thing I'll say. When we went to the YouTube Black event, one of the people on stage in the competition did a video on our socials. If you haven't seen it, Joe, we went to a YouTube Black event for Black History Month and we had a good time. And one of the people on stage in the competition was Diana.
Yeah.
Have you come across her before?
Oh, I have.
Yeah,
From Don't Tell the Brides.
Yeah,
That's what it started. Yeah.
So they were on Don't Tell the Bride, and then they got married, and then they had she had a YouTube channel. She was into YouTube, and then they started to do couple stuff. But basically, that relationship ultimately fell apart. And then recently, maybe in that last year or so, she has just been like, it's years ago, so she's just been coming online and basically telling all the secrets and like all the stuff that he did, like basically doing story time upon story time. When I tell you that man put her through the ringer, I'm like, and they were doing a couple of YouTube channels and he was just like,
I mean, he removed
sitting up and
the
down.
videos. And
Yeah,
stuff.
he took videos down, like, crazy. Anyway, this is the only couple YouTube channel you need. So we've got dilemmas. We've got more dilemmas than Jamie and Nikki. That joke.
Also, I learned it from iPads.
iPad. So basically, I've taken to bring in my iPad in because I don't have a phone at the moment, and also because I just feel like a professional. So I've got my iPad here, guys. So this dilemma is titled. I haven't even read this one, so I have no idea. This is a short one, but same deal as usual. If we get a long dilemma, I'll read it out and then we'll edit after if we need to. If it's got any unnecessary things in it. Hello! Exclamation mark. That's why I read it like that. I have a little bit of a dilemma and would like your advice. I am currently a HR officer and have a decent salary working 5 days a week. One of our HR business partners has resigned from the organisation, which now gives me an opportunity to potentially progress in the soon vacant position. I am hesitating going for the role, however, because it's only 4 days a week. If I were successful in getting the role, I would be earning £700 less than I am now simply because it's part-time compared to my current full-time role. It wouldn't put me in any financial hardship necessarily, but ideally I would like an overall pay increase, although an extra day off is tempting me, lol. I have asked and there are no present plans to make the role full-time. However, they didn't necessarily rule out that in the future, next year or two. Shall I go for the role and take a pay cut to get my foot in the door for progression, or remain in my current role for higher pay? Would love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I feel like it's quite straightforward. I think, and you've spoken about it before, like taking a pay cut to basically jump forward again afterwards. And I feel if you can afford to take the pay cut and gain 1 day of work and work 4 days a week and get promoted into the role, then why not? Eventually you could move to another company and be a full-time HRBP. They might see the value in your work and identify that, okay, sometime down the line, the 5th day makes sense. There's so many opportunities. I don't think you're pigeonholing yourself by taking a role just because it's 4 days a week. I think if you £700 less, if you can afford,
that's a lot of money. Is that net or gross?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Money.
It's a lot of money. If you can afford to do it, then I would say do it. But if it's too much of a financial dip, then obviously don't do it. Also, I feel like this person is talking like the role is in the bag for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, maybe you've already had discussions, but you just never know. You might want to just see how you feel.
Yeah, I was going to say, right, like I always, when people have like 2 options or whatever, I always say there's no point deciding between 2 things that don't exist yet. So I would just apply for the role and then see if you get the role. And then if you get the role, then you make the decision.
Yeah.
Do you want to take it? Do you not want to take it? All of that. Because, I hope that if you apply, you'll get it. But it's possible that you apply and you won't get it. You're now doing all this mental gymnastics and calculations.
The ones where like you've applied for a job and then you start like spending the money before you've got the job.
Before you've even been called for an interview.
Well, now I'm going to be on this. So yeah, I can spend it.
Yeah, so I would definitely kick the can down the road to the decision. But also, at the same time, I would be applying for other roles at the same time, just so you have a benchmark and a comparator. Yeah. If you want a HR business partner role and you were kind of hesitant about this one because it's part-time, apply for a HR business partner, start applying the HR business partner roles elsewhere. And when people say organisation, I don't know why, but it just gives me public sector, third sector, that sort of thing. And if that is the case, then there's loads of those HRBP roles floating around right now. Like the HR market isn't the best at the moment, but in the public sector, it's really popping.
Yeah.
So if that is the case, then I would say apply for, other things at the same time. And also £700, it says earnings, so I kind of feel like maybe it's gross. But even if it's like £400, £500, £300 or whatever a month, it's still a lot of money. And so you need to think really long term about it. Yeah, right now it's not a problem for you, but what are your plans in the next year or so? Like you said, it could be going full time. So what are your plans in the next year or so? Are you going to need that money? Like what are the things that you want to do? That's like a holiday or 2 Like, it's more than a holiday or 2 a year. Do you know what I mean? That's an extra couple of holidays a year, or a car, or, you know, it does make a difference. So even though you feel comfortable about it now, think about what your plans are in the future and if this is likely going to be a problem.
Yeah. And also, it sounds from that gap of dropping one day, I wonder what the pay difference is between the two roles. And also,
Yeah, like, so is it,
Yeah.
so it's not, basically we're saying the pay is not 20%. If the pay was 20% higher, then it would even out, but it's clearly it's
yeah,
not.
yeah, exactly. So then I started thinking you might be better off as well just gaining some experience, like HRBP experience within the role you're currently in, and just taking that to then move into your next role
Yeah.
that is more suited for you rather than the 4 day and the pay cut. Yeah, that would be.
And I'll also say, like, you're saying the extra day off work is tempting. You might just want to, like, kill two birds with one stone. Like, if there's something that you've been wanting to do, been wanting to learn, but you might be see it as an opportunity, been wanting to, you know, do, this might just be the time. If you can roll it in and do something else at the same time, that might make so much sense. Just to be like, okay, I've been wanting to learn this, I've wanted to go here, I've been wanting to start this business, I've been wanting to, you know, take up this class, I've been wanting to do whatever it is, and I'm going to use this extra day to do it now. So that way, even though you're losing £700, you're going to get something done that you wanted to do. But most of us have something. You know, most of us have something that we want to do and we don't have time to do, whether it's learning the language or, you know, whatever it is, going to the gym. Like, whatever it is, if you spend your extra day doing that, then at least you can kill two birds with one stone. I don't know if I would necessarily go for it. I think I would go for it if I was in that position where the money wasn't, you know, I probably would go for it. If I really wanted that kind of step up, I would probably go for it. But I don't know if I would stay in the part-time role for long. I would use it as leverage to get probably a BP role in another organisation.
Yeah, I think you have to just really know what you want. Like, I know what it would take for me to leave my current role to go to another role, and it's nothing to do with money. So yeah, I think it depends on like what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a dilemma. So here it is. It says, hey guys, love the pod. I have a dilemma or topic I'd love to hear from you guys. Can you speak about career/job why do I always mess up this word? Longevity and pros of it, please. I'm looking into securing work that's not at a startup for job protection. At this point, I want a job for life, which doesn't seem like the millennial way to think.
Yeah. What do you think?
What do I think? Sure, I feel like I need to look at it again, to be honest.
Can I start?
Yeah, you start.
So I get it, you know, like, I think, you know, we're kind of millennials, Gen Z or whatever, that we want to jump around jobs. But the reason that a lot of people are jumping around jobs is because they're looking for something or they need something from another job that they're not getting from a current job. But I've got a friend, for instance, I don't know if I mentioned recently, but she was telling me she's never leaving her company. We're the same age, she's never leaving, as she can't see why she would ever leave, because she's not...
Is this the one who moved, like, out of London or far?
Yeah. So she's just telling me she never leaving because she's just very satisfied. Like, she's been able to develop, she's been able to progress, she wanted to do other things, they supported her, like, she got decent work-life balance, and she just never wanted to go. If you're in that situation, I don't know what would force you out. And I think most of us are kind of in that boat. So the reason people are moving is because they haven't found what they're looking for. Whereas if most of us found what we're looking for, I think we're happy to chill. You know, I think our bar for what we think is, you know, great is just a bit higher than maybe it was for our parents' generation, where for them it was just like stable income, good enough. Whereas for us, we want to enjoy the work, we want to grow, we want to learn, we want to do all of this kind of stuff. So I think that there's nothing wrong with wanting to be somewhere for a long period of time. We've been jobbing actually very long. So if you want to, especially if you're like going into a stage of life, like a lot of us millennials now, we're grown, like we're in our 30s and some early 40s, and we've got maybe families, kids, homes, rent to pay, mortgages to pay, like things to do. So the stability wanting a routine is really important for us right now. So I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting it, and I don't think you should feel like shame for that. Just make sure that if that's what you're looking for, you have like a list of things that you're, asking in interviews, you're looking on the website, you're reading all the reviews, because I don't think you will know that company until you're in it and you're doing the works. I don't think you can look for a company that's perfect, that you only know once you get in.
Yeah, I do think like a lot of millennials and Gen Z as well, like have the mentality sometimes that the grass is greener. So you might have like 80% of what you need in the current company you're in, and then you might leave because you think, okay, this company has 90, but then you get there and it's actually like 60.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then it kind of repeats that cycle. Well, now I have to go back and find that 80, or hopefully find the 90
as good as it was before.
Yeah. I think that unless you're in a really, like when I left the recruitment business, I was like, it can't get any worse than this. But guess what? It got worse. It got worse when I got to the school. So like when I got to the school, I was like, so no way, because everywhere has to be up. Everywhere has to be up. I don't care like where it is. It has to be up. I was literally at rock bottom. Like I was like, anywhere I go now, it's up. But it meant that when I got there, I really did appreciate it, because I was like, I was just
in the trenches.
I was in school, like, and then I got to this place and it was like, oh, bed sheets and
thread out.
Yeah, like, do you know what I mean? So I think we, as well as millennials in particular, have to be really careful about thinking that things are greener, and just really taking our time with regards to like really look at those Glassdoor reviews. I love when random people message me on LinkedIn that have applied for a job where I am, and they want a real answer. They don't want the answer that the company they're applying for is going to give them. You need to do things like that to really find out, okay, is this somewhere long term, and I'm making a few assumptions here, but is this somewhere where I can be sick, like God forbid, but be sick and know that my company is going to support me, or have a sick family member or friend and know that this is somewhere where I can take time off and come back to the same job. I can learn. I can have kids and come back and not feel like my role is in jeopardy, even though there's legal reasons why it can't be at that time. But you just want to feel like comfortable, as well as the learning aspects and stuff. As time goes on as well, that might change for you. Is this somewhere where I could potentially learn from other departments? Could I stay in this, like, do I want to love this company enough that I don't even want to move jobs? I just want to sidestep from HR into like L&D side of HR. Do you know what I mean? So I think those are all really good things to think about, and I don't think it's a bad thing.
And I think it all depends on experiences. Like, let's say you've been in a job for 8 years. When you come out, you might be a bit open to a little bit of like, not turbulence, but it's like instability. You've had a lot of stability, but if like what has happened to a lot of people actually is they were made redundant during COVID, and since they've kind of been bouncing around, they've experienced like two redundancies. They've had one, maybe they've been for a year and they've been made redundant again, and then they've been all of this stuff. So if you've been through something like that, you're gonna want the idea of a job for life, or having a job for a very long time, is really probably gonna resonate much more with you. And again, there was a time when this kind of like startup, everyone wanted to work for startups, scale ups, and it was great money, great exposure, family, I'll put in inverted kind of quotes, like family style company. And now people are like, wow, like some of the startups and the scale ups, even the ones that got really big, you've had your Deliveroo's, your Gorillas, your what was the other one? There's all these companies that are basically like not done very well, and they've had to make layoffs. So people thought they were like growing companies, but they realized that maybe these startups are not as stable, and maybe I need to just go back to a young financial services company and chill there for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Do you know what? That's a good point as well. Like, I think knowing what industry you want to settle in is important as well, because some will really put you through the ringer.
Yeah, people were just like, was it like a year ago, 2 years ago, people were like, need to get into tech. If you see what some of the smaller tech companies are going through,
it's crazy.
You will find yourself in financial services.
Yeah. No, it's true. Yeah, I think it's important to like look into industry, and I also think you have to manage your expectations when you do want to find your forever role. You know, it's like when people look for their forever home. You have to manage your expectations. I think if you know you're going to be in a job for a long time, or not a job, a company for a long time, majority of companies, your salary is not going to progress as quickly as it would if you decided to bounce around. You need to be okay with that.
Yeah.
You know,
you've got to do it all in advance. Like that is, I think, if you're in employment, that is the plan. I think you do everything you do your moving around, jump, get to your pay rises, and then if you want to stay at a company, you go at a level where you're like, realistically, if I only had inflationary pay rises for the rest of my life,
I'm okay.
Am I going to be okay with that?
Yeah,
and if your answer is yes, then that's the company you can sit. If not, then it might be fine. You might stay there and still go for promotion. But otherwise, like, you need to start thinking, okay, like, do I want to stay here forever? Is the progression going to be there for me? Am I going to be able to get regular pay rises? Because actually, real pay rises and promotions, I need them, rather than just being like, yeah, I'll sit at this job, do a really good job at my job, and just chill.
Yeah, I think everyone has to have that number.
That's their final. That's your final point. Go somewhere where they've got a nice little pension.
Do you know what? I promise this is not sponsored or anything yet, but do you know what? I really enjoy Fidelity as a pension.
Not you shouting out financial services providers on our very. Are you okay? You coming to say you enjoy Fidelity?
Can I say why though? They sent me my statement, but it's a video statement, which I think is really fun. So it basically shows me like how much I've put into my pension this year, and then it shows the video continues and says, if you continue putting how much you're currently putting in, this is how much you'll have by the time you retire. But and it shows you how much you'd have in a lump sum and how much I would get monthly, and then it said, but if I contribute just 1% more, this is, and it was like
rich.
I was like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing here. And like how much my lump sum and stuff would change, and I was like, do you know what? This is what me as a early 30 millennial needs to see, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, you don't want to be heat or eats. We don't want to be those people. We want to have both.
yeah.
God, when I start working, eventually, I just have to have I think the secret is you just have to have a house that's paid off.
That's you need that, otherwise like,
because once your accommodation is sorted, like,
that's it, happy life.
your costs are just on the floor.
So my grandkids would be cool if you that. Where are you? I'll be like,
Barbados. Don't know anyway, but you know you're pulling then you know someone
get the dining tone.
You know that ring rubbish.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, you look at stuff like that though as well when you're looking for that steady company. You know, you want one that's going to give you a good return on your pension, all the stuff that you just don't think about when you're, you know, new to the workplace or like just trying to climb the ladder, you know?
Yeah. Well, currently, like a lot of those startups as well. Yeah, they love it having like the minimum pension.
They do, and they still put it in the benefits section.
Yeah. Terrible time. So hopefully that helps. Go get your job for life.
Yeah.
Just make sure you go in at a nice place, like where you can either progress or you kind of accept that you're not going to progress, but that's fine, so the money isn't making sense anyway.
Yeah. Have you? You work for yourself, so I guess that was
when my last job, that's what it was for me. I thought that's what it was for me. I was like, I'm here now. I didn't think that's what it was, but when I got there and I got my first pay rise, I was just like, I'm all right now. Like, it's not about that there's so much money, but I do genuinely believe that there's only so much money that you need.
I had that as well. I reached a certain salary point, and I was like, this was before I had my son as well. I was like, if I had a child tomorrow, I think I'll be okay. And that was my like,
I'm good now.
okay.
I'm good now. Yeah, and that's with me. That I just want to know that I just want enough money that I can, you know, live somewhere nice. What I believe to be nice. I don't need to live in a mansion. That I can have all the kids that I want to have without having to kind of think too much about it or feeling like I have to sacrifice too much, and then enjoy some of life's niceties, holidays and nice things. Like, that's it. Like, I don't. You want to make me rich? I'm not gonna say no. if God decides to make me rich, if He decides I'm one of His the soldiers or
wanna-
angels of life.
You just want to be able to turn the heat on and not fall.
Yeah, like I want to be like and that's the life that I live, and that's what I'm saying. Like I feel good about it. Like I was like, do you put the heating on? We could probably go without it, but I don't want to be cold. I don't want to put another layer on. I'm at home. I don't want to wear socks.
Yeah, and I feel you. I think for me, like having my son now, it's the fulfillment that like, okay, well, first of all, I don't want to pay for nursery. Let me just make that clear. Like, I don't believe, and every time nursery has to be paid, like my partner side-eyes me because he was not on board with nursery at all.
So what was he gonna do?
Ask me again, but that's another episode of me. Yeah.
It's easier to be on board with nursing when you're not the one that's doing have to do the work.
Like literally, what does that mean? I was like, you're gonna drive to grandparents every day because I am not. It was a thing for us, yeah. But the fact that like, you know, he can go nursery and we can still take him on holiday, we can still do certain activities with him. Like I feel like for someone who's 2, I feel like he's done quite like a lot of things.
No, he's having a good life.
Yeah, and like when it was half term, my niece has started school, and obviously if I want to spend time with her now, I have to take time off because she can't work on my schedule anymore. So I took time off in the half term that just went, and just one day at the farm, yeah, for 4 of us was I think £70. So I started thinking like.
So all
you parents that have
about snacks and
was without food, without transport,
that's
just for a ticket into this farm that was Halloween themed, yeah. And I started thinking, so all you parents that have to entertain a child for the week, like how much is this gonna cost you? Because even if you just decide to go to the farm, it's costing you this much money.
And I get inventive.
This is outrageous, really, you know. I mean, for me, those were the things that
I got to go to a young science museum. You can only go so many times, but you got to take them to the museums because it's free.
Do you know what? You're right. I took him to the science museum in Kentish. No, not Kentish. High Kensington. High Street Kent. Thank you. Yeah, we had the. What's that? I don't know. Somewhere there. Yeah. But yeah, it was actually quite cool. Yeah.
Cool. And that ends the ad section on our fidelity. The sponsored. So that
call at me.
I'm gonna be writing to them and sending them this video and saying, you know.
I think you should, to be honest, because I have a lot to say about them. I'm even holding back because I got more than just a pension with them. So
cool. I've got another one titled Dilemma.
I love that. I love the simplicity.
Okay, this is a long one. I haven't read it, so I'll try my best.
Okay, hit me.
Hi guys, enjoying the pod a lot.
Thank you.
Exclamation mark. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I've been working in finance for 10 years, and as a black woman, you can imagine the stereotyping and discrimination I have received. I recently left my most recent job after being told things about my hair and me spending a prolonged amount of time in my home country, with someone remarking, I thought you had gone to get traditionally married, as I was away for 6 weeks at the end of the pandemic. I chose to hand in my notice without a new job lined up because the situation was handled terribly by the company and HR, coupled with a micromanaging boss. I couldn't take it any longer. I started a new job in a new industry and it was fully remote. However, my manager has made comments to me that are red flags. Firstly, that emails should be checked even when people are on annual leave. If I ask her a question about something, she'll remark that I've already been told this, whilst in the same breath saying, if you have any questions, let me know. She also asked for my personal number before I went on annual leave for emergencies. To be honest, I don't think her and I are aligned personality-wise. It all got to a head when she was hounding me on Teams, so I took the step of putting a meeting in with her to discuss how it was making me feel. I made no comments about what had happened in my previous role, but she made part of it seem that I was holding on to issues from my previous role. I don't believe that I am, and I made 0 comments about my previous job to her. So I feel that it's being used as an excuse. I've also told her I left my last job and found this one during my notice, so it was clear to her that I would not stay in a toxic situation. Whether that was smart or not, I don't know. Needless to say, I'm sick of it. I'm wanting to quit as I've only been in the job for 3 months, but I'm being made to feel like I'm underperforming. It's been announced the company is having a hiring freeze and can only recruit under extenuating circumstances. I think she means exceptional circumstances. Is the ball now in my court now that this has been announced? And what are your rights when you're still in probation, as the probation is 6 months long? Appreciate your advice. Thank you.
Why would she be why would she have leverage in that?
I was thinking that exactly. I think where she's coming from is, if I leave, they won't be able to replace me. But I feel like they will.
Because it's a like for like headcount.
It's a like for like headcount, and also this probably even gives you less leverage, because when you're in a hiring freeze, that's the first step before they start making redundancies. Yeah, a lot of time, not always. Yeah, it's a step to try and stave off redundancies. So if you're in a hiring freeze, then they're probably looking to reduce headcount in some way. And if you've ever been through as HR or someone who's kind of worked in redundancy processes, you'll know that one of the things that is good when you're going to redundancy is leavers. So you don't want to make people redundant, but when people leave, you might choose not to backfill them if they're in a team that's going to be affected. So the more people that leave during a certain period of time, the better it is for you, because the less redundancy, the redundancy pay, and all this other kind of stuff that you have to do. So I actually wouldn't say it's leverage. I think if a company's going into a hiring freeze, what I would do is obviously start looking for another job if you're like, there's all these red flags. And also I would probably just keep on my post.
I agree, to be honest. I would just look for another job from the sounds of it. Like, there's clearly a way that this manager likes to work. You've highlighted a personality clash, which it shouldn't be an issue, but it's definitely an issue in the workplace with managers. Managers are like the number one reason why people leave. So yeah, I would also just keep my head down, apply for new jobs elsewhere, and move. You've got 10 years of financial experience.
Under your belt,
you're not going to find it well, obviously with asterisk market circumstances, but you're not going to find it difficult to find another job. So I would just keep quiet and move when the time comes.
and see like.
So there's a remote role, right?
Oh yeah, it's remote.
Yeah, so no one's going to see you interviewing. Start applying.
And also, you're in your probation period. It's a time for you to check the company out. It's time for your company to check you out as well. I would just see how you feel. Like, just continue watching, taking notes, seeing how you feel. Like, if it gets to a point where it's too much for you and you really need to leave, then leave. But before then, like, just see how it goes.
Yeah, but I definitely don't think you have any leverage with regards to the hiring freeze. Like Lola said, like, it's either when they're not going to backfill, they'll split your role between two others on your team.
First in, be last in, first out.
Yeah, or they'll just do okay, we've got a headcount that was already existed.
Critical headcount.
Yeah, like we need someone else, so let's hire. You know, it's not going to be a big deal. And someone in probation, you don't really have much to stand on with regards to, unfair dismissal or anything like that. And from what I've heard, although, mentioned that in a previous role there were microaggressions and stuff with the former employer, it doesn't sound like that with this one. It sounded like it was more to do with micromanaging and stuff.
Just not being a good manager or
so there's not much there, to be honest. But that manager's also off key for asking for your personal number when you're on holiday.
For emergencies.
Like,
what emergency anyway? Anyway. But yeah, that answers the second question, which was about what are your rights. There's very little rights.
Yeah, very little.
If you're new here, until you're in the company for 2 years, there's very little rights that you have in terms of bringing a claim for unfair this and unfair that. To be honest, I can't see anything, as you said, in this dilemma which would allude to you having any other right besides the right to be paid for the time that you work. The only other thing, as you said, would be discrimination, but it doesn't look like there's any of that here. Not that's clear anyway. So yeah, just look for another job or chill at this one.
I feel like if
some managers are just intense,
and also I feel like it's remote, so I'll maybe try and firm it a little bit to see.
Get a fully remote
until I find a good one.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
don't run.
Finding remote roles now is very, very hard. Whether you're tech, whether you're any industry now, is really some places where I never expected them to kind of shun fully remote roles have definitely shunned fully remote roles.
When Zoom did it, I said, no, you people are wrong.
Yeah. It's tough. Google have gone back to like 3 days. Meta, I think, are doing 3 as well. Like all the tech companies that I thought you would definitely stay remote have not stayed remote. Like, you know, and then you have obviously Amazon with everyone in the trenches. But, you know, and then
Amazon. We went to Amazon.
oh my gosh, even all the finance companies, like I'm seeing 5 days a week, like be in office 5 days a week. And I'm just like, yeah, so if remote is really your thing, I would say, you know, move your faced.
Yeah. Only move for the right role.
Yeah. Honestly, I genuinely cannot. Do you sometimes like sit there and think, I can't believe there was a time when I was going into the office 5 days a week from 9 or 8:30 in the morning till 5:36 in the evening.
Yeah.
And then coming home and traveling and getting home at 6
Coming home and
to
doing
7
things.
and
Coming home and doing
trying
things.
to feed yourself and
Coming home
cook.
and doing things besides sleeping.
I genuinely cannot believe that there was a time where like we didn't even question it. Like no one raised any help.
I know I've had like a young work from home day, but it was
Yeah, like
it
wasn't a
one every
thing.
other week or one every once in a while.
Yeah, it was not a thing. I just can't. And then my mind goes to, I cannot believe that people like my mum were raising children, going in Monday to Friday, doing what they're doing, coming home, cooking, cleaning, looking after a child, and doing it every single day. Oh my God.
No.
I don't like, what toll did that take on, like,
I think it must be muscle memory. Do you know what? Yeah, this was really bad the other day. I came home, I was so tired, and I just went, God.
what's your order?
No, I didn't order nothing. I thought, God, if it's time for another lockdown, I'm here. I just said, because I can't leave this house again today. And this week, like, I went out, I think the last week this last week gone, I was out 4 days, out 5. I had different clients. I tried to organise my client meetings on the same days, but it just couldn't work. And then I had to speak at this event, and then 4 out of 5 days out of my house. And I just thought, I can't do this.
Yeah.
If it's time to take us inside, take us, please. Just 2 weeks, let us collectively rest.
Still, yeah.
I'm out before Christmas.
Honestly, it's a lot. I went into the office back to back. So usually when I do like 2 days a week in the office, I might do like a Tuesday and then a Thursday. But because people were over from the US, I did like back to back days. I was so shocked. It's like my body doesn't even know how to cope with
Like,
that
why
anymore.
are you doing this to me?
I was so tired. Like I think I went to bed at like 8 o'clock when I got home.
Like, you've used all your energy for the day, for the week.
It was gone. It was missing. Like, and now it's a bit better now, but I get sick really easily after being on the train. I start coughing and sick. I'm like, what's happened?
So yeah, man.
Yeah.
I think we're at time.
Ollie. In that case, that's a wrap, guys.
Bye.
Bye.